Hello, I'm Donald Leggett. Welcome to the latest London South East CEO interview. Today, Tekcapital announced their half-year results, and I'm joined by Dr. Clifford Gross, Chairman of the AIM and OTC listed business, to discuss the operational highlights. As today's announcement states, Tekcapital's key portfolio companies are all revenue generating, all progressing well, with capable management, and should reach significant additional milestones by the end of 2022. And to discuss all that, I'm joined by Dr. Clifford Gross himself. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Donald. I hope you're keeping well.
I'm excellent. I have to say, I'm thoroughly enjoying 2022. It's good to be post-COVID.
Well, sort of post-COVID, right?
Oh, well, but we're dealing with it. We've learned how to deal with it, as we were discussing off air. So how's life with you? You must be pretty pleased with these results.
Yeah, we are. We're very happy with them. The most important KPI for Tekcapital, of course, is net assets and net asset growth. And our net assets increased 13% to $76.9 million, and we have no debt. So that's that's a solid achievement for the company. And our NAV per share is up 6%. To a record of 51 cents a share, which is today roughly 43 pence. So that's book value for Tekcapital today, and it's a result of the portfolio companies punching above their weight.
I get a sense of momentum across the portfolio. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think momentum is a good word. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and you say you're excited by the near-term potential growth and performance possibilities. I'm quoting you back at yourself. So is having a diverse portfolio, is that the key? Because you're backing 4 horses simultaneously?
It helps. We have sector diversification. We have medical devices, food tech, smart eyewear, and autonomous vehicles. So one might ask, well, what do they have in common? And what they have in common is proprietary intellectual property of value, in our view, capable management. They address billion-dollar markets, and perhaps most importantly, if successful, they can make a positive impact on the lives of the customers they serve. So yes, they are diversified, although a small portfolio, of course.
Okay, talking about making a difference for their customers, you own 14% of Bellescura, which continues to make seriously good progress in 2 of the world's largest markets for portable, I've got the word here, portable oxygen concentrates in China and the United States. Tell us more.
Well, yes, we're thrilled with Bellescura's performance. We have 17.1 million shares with the largest shareholder. Pre-listing, our shares were valued at around $2 million, and currently they're around $20 million. So what's not to like about that? But most importantly, portable oxygen concentrators are necessary devices for the 3.23 million people that die from COPD. And according to the World Health Organization, COPD is the 3rd leading cause of death in the world, and these patients can really benefit from supplemental oxygen. So we think it's a terrific company, and they have a lightweight, sort of elegant product. And lightweight is important because often people with COPD have other neuromuscular problems, ambulation, etc. And so having a lightweight product is helpful. The market size is estimated to be about $3 billion in the next 3 years. And we don't see any reason why Bellescura shouldn't be able to earn a significant portion of that market. They have the first modular cleared FDA portable oxygen concentrator. And by that, I mean the user themselves can upgrade the filter by pressing a button, popping out the existing filter, and putting in a higher capacity filter as their disease progresses. So they don't have to buy a larger unit, and that reduces the cost of ownership of portable oxygen concentrators over the lifetime of the patient. So we think Bellescura net is in the pole position to have significant growth in the future if they're able to properly execute their plan, and we see no reason why they shouldn't be able to do that.
And they're very cleverly manufacturing. They've struck a manufacturing agreement in China, which has nearly 100 million folks with COPD. So that's, one of the, obviously the key marketplaces in the world.
Yeah, well, it's necessary for them to reduce their cost of goods, as it will enable a wider adoption of their devices and improved operating margins.
Okay, and they raised 5.7 million basically to fund manufacturing and raw materials in China. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's smart. They should cash up and be able to execute their model as rapidly as possible.
Yeah. Okay. And Lucid Limited, the innovative eyewear business, 100% owned by you, and you hope to IPO on NASDAQ when market conditions are suitable. So is the market a bit of a headache at the moment for you, would you say, Cliff?
Capital markets are choppy in the US and I believe in the UK as well, but they're navigable. And while we own 100% of Lucid, Lucid's operating business is innovative eyewear in the United States. We own 81% of that business, and that's the business that we're seeking to list on the NASDAQ. And we will list it as soon as practicable. We have very capable bankers that are anxious to get the deal done, and they're waiting for the right opportunity. So fingers crossed, that should be in the near term.
And what's exciting about online eyewear that is connected to, smart eyewear?
Well, the eyewear business is a very big and very stodgy business. And they've been at it for about 400 years. And there have been precious few improvements in the frames of eyewear in the 4th century period. The lenses have gotten noticeably better. They're lightweight, better materials. They have, variable focal point lenses. They have photochromic lenses that could change their tint according to the ambient sunlight. But the frames themselves really have not progressed much in the last 400 years. And innovative eyewear is all about upgrading the eyewear with smart eyewear, smart frames that allow you to remain connected to your digital life without having to take your phone out of your pocket. So you can listen to music, make calls, talk to Siri, Google Voice, Alexa, Bixby, whatever digital assistant you happen to be using. You can order an Uber, you could send cash all through your glasses, hands-free. So it's really a remarkable improvement. And to be able to do it in a form factor that weighs 1 ounce or thereabouts, which is what normal eyewear weighs, at a price point of about $150, which is normal low-end cost for designer eyewear. So if you have comfortable glasses that are well priced, that allow you to not only correct your vision, but stay connected to your digital life, why would you not want them? Which is exactly the USP for smartwatches. And most of the watches sold in the world are becoming smartwatches. So we think eyewear is moving in exactly the same direction, that most eyewear sold over the next 10 years will be smart eyewear.
Okay, talking about something which will most definitely have its time in the next 10 years, Guident. Guident is also 100% owned and headquartered in Florida. Give us the operational highlights in the half year there, and give us a sense of how the autonomous vehicle market is progressing. It's one of those things that year on year, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and become more of a big deal, I suspect.
Yeah, actually, this year it's becoming a big deal. It's not some distant time in the future.
Now is that
this
time.
Year, now is the time. And in fact, Guident has gone from an R&D company to an operating revenue generating business this year, which is a remarkable transition for any early stage business.
But that's only a few years you've been at it.
Yeah, they've been at it basically 3 years, and they developed a really excellent remote monitoring and control center technology that has, we believe, the lowest latency, which is the time it takes a signal to get from a vehicle to the remote monitoring and control center in the industry. And they've won their first client, which is actually a big company. It's the Jacksonville Transportation Authority of Jacksonville, Florida, in $1 million plus contract that starts in 3 days.
That is very pleasing for you, Cliff.
Oh,
very
yeah, it's quite frankly, it's thrilling. And not only that, and they worked hard to win this customer, both in terms of business development and technological development. But now customers are coming to them, and which is also thrilling for the company. And they should be onboarding additional customers before year end So it's really a terrific business. And what is driving it, if you really deconstruct it, is everyone wants autonomous vehicles, but the type that people want right away is autonomous delivery. And Domino's Pizza, Publix supermarkets, Walmart, FedEx, all of these companies want to be able to deliver goods to their customers, and they want to do it as quickly as possible, as inexpensively as possible. And it's darn hard to find people to do 24/7 deliveries in the United States and in many other territories around the world. So autonomous delivery devices, which have no passengers in them, just goods, are the first sort of flavor of autonomous deliveries to come on stream en masse.
And a process which has been fast forwarded by COVID, because it makes the non-human hands so much more important.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And, there are a lot of people that it's not just non-contact exchange of products, but there are a lot of people who are physically challenged where it's difficult for them to go to a physical location, pick something up and bring it home. In the state of Florida, up to 25% of the adults have some physical disability. So being able to deliver products to a customer's home without a lot of fuss and muss and without a physical driver is a competitive advantage for very large companies. And so that is the afterburner that's driving, if you pardon the metaphor, that's driving the autonomous delivery device business. And the autonomous delivery devices are also inherently safer than autonomous passenger cars because momentum is mass times velocity. And so the mass of an autonomous delivery device and the speed at which it travels is much less than a passenger vehicle. And so the damage it could do and the danger it could potentially impose on individuals and products and the environment is less. So autonomous delivery devices are the first autonomous devices to come on stream in numbers, and it's happening right now, not sometime in the future. And all of the major consumer product companies that have retail distribution are looking at this right now and testing it right now. And so what's interesting is that in the state of Florida, they were actually quite forward thinking, and they put in place a law a year and a half ago that legalized the operation of autonomous vehicles and delivery devices if you can hook them up to a remote monitoring and control center to monitor them in case they get into Dutch. And so what Guident has done quite cleverly is not only develop the core technology, but they've built the first physical remote monitoring and control center in the state of Florida. And it has an agnostic interface that allows you to hook up a wide variety of different vehicle types. So now if you have an autonomous vehicle, if you're an operator, a fleet operator of vehicles, or you're a major supermarket chain that wants to operate vehicles, you now have a place to go to hook up to remote monitoring and comply with the law in the state of Florida so you can legally operate the vehicles. And other jurisdictions have started to copy the state of Florida. And not only in the United States, but even in the case of countries, Germany has now put in place a law requiring autonomous vehicles that don't have safety drivers to have remote monitoring. So we think it'll be the way of things in the future that most territories that legalize the operation of autonomous vehicles and delivery devices will require remote monitoring and control. And that's exactly what Guident provides.
Now, let me just quickly, before we run out of time, let me just quickly ask you about regenerative shock absorbers, because you said wonderfully that they weren't actually core to the business, but nevertheless, it was such a fascinating design that you just couldn't say no to it. So a prototype has been developed, I understand. Tell us all.
Yes,
is this going to be a biggie for you?
It's well, to quote Tom Cruise, it hasn't crashed and burned and it's looking pretty good. We've developed a prototype. It's being tested, and the interest, I would say, without overstatement, is keen by large car companies and other OEMs for the automotive space. So more to come in the future on that, but the initial device is working and it's being evaluated. So that's what I have to say about that.
Marvelous. Okay, last but not least, Salarius, 97% owned. Talk to me about the rollout of Salt Me crisps, making good progress, I think. Tell us all.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word good. I would say it's almost ineffable. I mean, they went from 0 stores carrying salt meat crisps with microsalt 18 months ago to around 3,000 locations in the United States. If that's not exponential growth, I don't know what would be.
But there's more to come, I understand.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because Kroger, which is the largest supermarket chain in the U.S., onboarded the products, and they're not only in Kroger's throughout the country, but they're in 200 other stores. And it really has shown the market that the water is safe. And as a result, numerous Fortune 500 companies that both make snack foods and need to buy microsalt or sell a diversified snack products are in serious, I would say, late stage talks with the company. So the company, there's no other way to say it other than it's on fire. I mean, it really is. It has the potential to be a disruptor to the low sodium salt industry, which is worth $1.5 billion today and will be worth quite a bit more over the next 5 years. And in addition to that, the company is introducing salt shakers with low sodium salt with microsalt this fall. And the largest food distribution company in the U.S. has already asked them if they could handle the product. So it'll be really terrific. This fall, consumers will be able to buy microsalt in salt shakers in supermarkets, and you'll be able to get them in convenience stores and have them in restaurants and hotels and hospitals, etc. So microsalt is really a product whose time has come. And we think if they continue growing the way they are, there'll be a listed company in the next year. We're interested in enhancing the board right now with the view towards that. And we think that if successful, they can really make a dent in cardiovascular disease by reducing excess sodium consumption.
Great. So you heard it there, shareholders. You're hoping to IPO in what, 12 months?
Yeah, within 12 months.
Within 12 months. Wonderful. Okay, and finally, what should we be looking for in terms of news flow from you over the next 6 to 9 months?
Well, growth of net assets is what we're looking for. And we think that's doable by the natural growth of these portfolio companies as they increase their market penetration. Specifically, Guident should be onboarding more customers. Hopefully, Innovative Eyewear will have consummated their IPO and list on the NASDAQ, and Microsalt will, within the next 12 months, also pursue a listing. Although we think that listing will be in the UK markets, we think that's a good place for them to do that. And Bellescura should continue apace with its market penetration.
Okay, that was Dr. Clifford Gross, Executive Chairman at Tekcapital, putting the 2022 half-year results into context for us. It sounds like a cracking half-year with more to come. Meanwhile, don't forget to check out the Tekcapital chat pages on London South East, or Google London South East YouTube and subscribe to receive alerts to interviews just like this one. Meanwhile, please do all stay safe.